Hello and welcome to this week's video. My name is Alex Davis. I'm the founder of Pushing Back the Shadows. Now, I've got to start with another apology again, I'm afraid, because last week there was no video. Reason being, my little girl's had chicken pox, so I've been trying to manage looking after her and getting the work done as well, and sometimes it just hasn't happened. So I am sorry about that. Also, if those of you who are subscribed to us via email on the website, we're testing out this new fortnightly digest format. So if you haven't had any emails from us, don't panic, okay? We're just testing it out, we'll see how it goes. Who knows, we may be back to the original format or we may not, I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, on to this week's video. So, have you, and those of you who are maybe UK-based listeners, have you heard of the programme Whose Line Is It Anyway? Because that title, not so much the programme, but the title itself, is a little bit of the inspiration behind my my thought for today, if you like. Whose problem is it anyway? It might seem like a silly question to ask, because if there's a problem, usually we tend to blame ourselves a little bit, or we'll say that, do you know what, yeah, it's not my problem, you know, not my circus, not my monkeys, that sort of thing. So whose problem is it anyway? Wonderful, we got the traffic going again. It's always helpful when they do that. Yeah, I've been trying to time it today because it's bin day. I've been trying to time it so that you won't suddenly get the noise of the bin lorries coming through. But apparently somebody toots the horn, that's fine. Anyway, whose problem is it anyway? So we have these problems, don't we? Not just the mental health problems, I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about things where people don't understand, where people can't be bothered to listen properly so they won't understand, and other sorts of things like that. I've had a few conversations lately where people have been saying, oh, well, that person doesn't listen, what do I do? How can I get them to listen? Well, do you know what? Is that your problem? The answer, whether people like it or not, is no. It's not your problem. If somebody won't listen to you when you're trying to explain anything, or resolve something, or, I don't know, start something new, whatever the case is, whatever the situation is, if that person won't listen to you, or if somebody's not talking to you, or if somebody's just being a general idiot and treats you badly, that is not your problem. And it's not your fault. You see, we have a situation at the moment where somebody I know is getting really upset because their son is treating them absolutely appallingly. And it's very easy to think, oh, well, I failed as a parent. Clearly, I failed as a parent because this is how my child behaves. But actually, the problem is not with the parent. If the child is behaving in that manner, and by child I mean about 16 in this case, but if the child is behaving in that manner, that's on them. If they can't be bothered to show up, if they don't want to interact, if they only call when they want something, that is their problem. So likewise, if you're struggling with somebody not listening to you, somebody who doesn't want to take the time to understand your mental health, or people who just cannot be bothered to help, that isn't your problem. I've been watching American Horror Story Season 7 recently, because it's only just gone up on Netflix, and I'm actually quite a fan of American Horror. I wasn't sure about this season, Cult, because it seemed a bit... but the more I get into it, you know what, the more I like it. But in the latest episode that I watched, Sarah Paulson's character is talking to the therapist, Cheyenne Jackson, and she's saying about how there are marital problems with her and her wife, and she's saying, well, how do I fix, how do I do this, how do I do? And Cheyenne Jackson's character, the psychiatrist, turns around and he says, the only things that you can change, and these are the things I want you to focus on, are the things that are in your control. So in this case, your wife, she's off limits. It's not going to happen. You change what you can control. So let's look at those situations again. The people who won't listen to you. Have you tried talking to them? If you have, great. You've done your bit. The stroppy teenager who is behaving like an absolute tool. Have you tried to fix it? Have you made those steps? Yeah? Then great. As long as you've done your bit, you've tried. You've taken control of the things that you can control. And you've tried. And that's all it comes down to. It's not up to you to take all the responsibility. It's not up to you to fix everything. I was at Spring Harvest a couple of years ago. It's like a Christian festival thing. It isn't as bad as it sounds to those of you who don't believe in Christianity, that sort of thing. And there was a lady there called Christy Wimber, who's quite a big name in America, has founded a church and so on and so on. And she was talking about faith and healing. Now, I've seen a lot of this on Twitter. I don't always agree with it. I believe that people can be healed. Yeah, but it's not going to happen just kind of like that. And she was talking about how we've had almost like a tendency to put it into a 5-step plan, you know. You've got to be with the person, you've got to lay your hands on them, you've got to pray, you've got to really believe, and poof, it's going to happen. No, it's not. She said, our job as Christians, and again, this is if you believe in it, or whatever you believe in, apply it to your own beliefs. But our job is to bring the person suffering to God, and God to the person. From then on, it's out of our hands. It's all up to God, or whoever you believe in. And that is how it is in this context too. Our job is to try to control what we can control, to do our little bit. And then it's up to the other person, or the organisation, or the other people, or the universe, I don't know, whatever you believe in. But it's not our problem. So I don't know what you're going through today. I don't know what you're struggling with. But remember, as long as you control the things that you can control, your behaviours, maybe your attitudes, what you do and don't do, as long as you control those, that's okay. You've done your bit, and it is not your problem. I hope that helps. And if you need to talk about any of it, or if you just want to disagree with my approach to, you know, life, the universe, and everything in it, then feel free to message or comment. Better yet, subscribe. So, yeah, anyway, yeah, don't forget to subscribe, because really we do appreciate it when people subscribe. And you'll get notifications of all the wonderful content with this face on it. Yeah, I know, plenty of people going to hit unsubscribe now, but, you know. But before I go, I just want to say a quick thank you to our patrons. So, to Louise, Toulouse, Samantha, Cheryl, Yisun, Shirley, Tamara, and Alex. Thank you ever so much for the things that you do. These are the top patrons who, because we do have another patron on there who doesn't like the shout-outs, but those are our top patrons at the moment. So thank you ever so much, guys. We really appreciate everything that you do. But on that note, it's time for me to leave you until next week. So you guys take care, and hopefully I will see you next week. Have a great week.